it has to be a mutually beneficial relationship.
Agreed.
And they're relationships that are vested in your success or your failure, right? Because a lot of times people are attached to you when they help you get to where you are. So a lot of the mentors that have helped us along the way, when they see us, I'm thinking about the Gregs of the world and the Seans of the world and things like that. When they see us, they can go, man, I've seen you come from here to here and I'm proud of you.
Hey guys, this is Aisha Shelton.
And this is Kevin Shelton.
Welcome back to the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast.
Welcome back to another week.
Week on, week off. I'm tired of these weeks. How many weeks are we going to be podcasting?
Does it have to end? We've been podcasting for years.
Indefinitely. No, it's not a thing. I'm just kidding. I love podcasting.
I think we just need to get our sponsorship game up. If you get the check, you would feel much better about
That's
it.
true. Okay.
Sponsors, reach out to Marriage and Real Estate Podcast. Do you want to talk to young couples to do real estate?
Give it up, buddy. Stop.
All right.
Stop right now.
Well, I'm going to let the pitch people do the pitching, and I'm just going to do the talking because it's a podcast anyway.
Okay.
What are we talking about this week, lady? I'm kicking my mic all over.
We are talking about
mentorship.
Nah, we're talking about a secret, not the secret, one of the secrets to $1 million.
Okay.
Yeah, who likes it?
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So one of the secrets to $1 million, everybody wants to know how to make money. And the one thing that Kevin and I agree on is that everything works as long as you work it right. So we know people that are in the trucking industry, they make gangbusters money. We know people that are in real estate, they make gangbusters money. We know people that do stocks, they make gangbusters money. But they're also working.
Yep.
Working, right? So today we're talking about a secret to $1 million, and one of those secrets is through mentorship.
Yep.
Why do you think, Kevin, mentorship is valuable?
So I like the way you put it, the secret, right? Because
a secret.
Truly, it gives you the ability to get insight into years of experience that you otherwise wouldn't get without going through the journey.
Yep.
It makes me think of kind of all of our mentors and the lessons that we've learned and the people who've gone before you and can just go, oh yeah, this is what this is supposed to look like, or don't go down this path because that leads nowhere. It's a time saver, and time is money. But it's also an actual money saver because a lot of times it can save you from making mistakes.
Yep.
And that's the benefit of mentorship that a lot of people don't understand is it's not what it costs you, it's what it saves you.
Yeah. So let me be very clear. Is not the secret. I don't know that we can make it exclusive, but it's certainly a secret to $1 million in entrepreneurship and real estate, right? I have always been an advocate of, learning through others' mistakes. So that's reading books, listening to podcasts. You guys are here today, so you're listening to this podcast. We share our mistakes. Lots of people write biographies and we learn from their mistakes and know what not to do. And like you said, with time being money, if we can save time, then I'm always down because literally, if somebody could have told me like, hey, don't put that $10,000 here, it could have saved you $10,000. And I don't know anybody that wouldn't want to save $10,000. Or, hey, I don't know if I'm kicking myself in the foot for this. Here's a great contractor. Don't ask us for our contractors. But definitely if you have a relationship with someone, an established relationship with a mentor, then you probably could have access to people and
that sounds like
contacts such as their contractors. No, I think I caveated that really well.
Yeah, you caveated it to create a relationship so then you get access to said contractors.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying is when you have a relationship with somebody, regardless, right? They are inclined. You help
more
them.
Inclined to help you.
You help them and they help you.
What it is people are vested in your success.
Right.
Right. I was gonna make a completely separate point before you went down that pathway. You can still make a point.
Okay, let me say this. Ensure that you have the proper relationship with someone before you ask for their contractors.
I don't want to stick on the contract.
Okay, well,
I want to get right on off that. But
my bad.
But the thing about it is it has to be a mutually beneficial relationship.
Agreed.
And they're relationships that are vested in your success or your failure, right? Because a lot of times people are attached to you when they help you get to where you are. So a lot of the mentors that have helped us along the way, when they see us, I'm thinking about the Gregs of the world and the Seans of the world and things like that. When they see us, they can go, man, I've seen you come from here to here, and I'm proud of you because they've helped you along the way. They've been a part of your journey. And that's one of the best moments, is making those mentors proud. I want to say for us, I know that you feel the same way that I do. The story that I was going to tell is the power in being vested in mentoring somebody or receiving mentorship can be life-changing. So I'm listening to a really interesting book right now called I'm gonna have to look it up.
Called A Really Interesting Book.
I'm gonna have to look it up because I don't want to.
It's so interesting that I do not remember.
Well, it has a complicated title. The Origin of Black Elite Life, or the original Black Elite. There we go. And the purpose of this book is kind of a history lesson in Black wealth throughout American history. So this book basically recounts Black wealth throughout history. And one of the cool stories was about a young post-slavery man that became an assistant librarian in Washington, D.C. So the librarian took interest in him. And one of the things that he started doing was mentoring him on wealth building, to the tune of, literally showing him how to invest, taking him to open bank accounts, things like this. And I'm getting around to the power of mentorship, because this other librarian was such a good investor and taught this assistant librarian. The premise of his mentorship was, I want to show you how to make sure that you never have to just live off your librarian salary, and that you have wealth for generations to come. So he made a investment with this assistant librarian of $300. He literally invested $300. He said, I'm going to give you this and show you how to invest. Literally a decade from that point, the man continuously saved his money, started investing in real estate, to the point that 10 years later, he was a millionaire from the things that he learned from his mentor being a librarian. He never left his job, but just the switch in his mind of what you can do financially and through his mentorship changed his entire life and the generations to come. So that's the power of mentorship.
Yeah.
You look bewildered by my story.
I'm not bewildered. I just thought it was kind of long, but I'm interested in it. And so that's why I'm looking at you.
You're like,
I was like, does this story have an end? But it sounds really good. I'm sorry.
What am I going to do, y'all?
Okay, let me see it. Can I pick back up after that really long, drawn-out story? That's an Austin story.
Bro, you threw me under the whole last bus with the contractors. I picked it back up, and then now you're like, oh, that was a really long story. You tell a story.
We are losing our groove here, Kevin.
I'm just...
sorry.
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. Because you said so much. There were points in the story, and I'm really trying not to interrupt you. And any couple that's married knows how frustrating it is when your partner interrupts you. And I think we all do it. And I just hope we all do it, because I do it all the time. And so I wanted to say things, and I was, how you're listening to speak. It's kind of the place that I was in. And so when you kept speaking, okay, that's really not the point. I want to talk about, what is it that you think people look for when they are mentoring people? And I'm asking the question to prep it, but then I have some things to say, and I want you to kind of jump in too,
okay.
right?
Okay.
So I think that mentors are always looking for somebody that is, it's nice when you're young, right? Like when you can kind of not raise somebody up, but like you find somebody that's interested and they're young, you're like, man, this person is capable. Mm-hmm. And they have a fire that I'm really attracted to, and I want to see them grow, right? I think I think mentors like that, right?
I mean,
Does that make sense?
it does make sense, and I definitely think that a lot of mentors do look for folks that are younger so that they can impart that knowledge kind of in the next generation.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that, folks
No,
aren't
it's
looking
not
for older
absolute.
people, but
No, I'm not speaking in the absolute.
okay,
I
you
know
got
I
it.
get excited
I'm just jumping in.
personally. I
Jump in.
appreciate that. I personally get excited when, somebody is like, oh, my daughter is 23 and she just graduated from college and she's interested in real estate.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, yeah, right?
Yeah.
And if they have the same, stick to itiveness and the zeal, I'm excited to impart that
So
upon them.
I like what you said about stick to itiveness
There you go.
and zeal, because I think those are other traits that mentors look at. People want people who are gonna do the work.
Yep.
Right. If you're not gonna do the work and actually take the advice of a mentor, I know that's one of the things that really can piss folks off is if they keep giving you the same lesson over and over again and you're never applying it.
Or if you don't do anything with the information, right? So Kevin always tells a story about how we sit down with couples and they're like, man, I want to invest in real estate. Man, I want to do this. And then we see you like 6 months later and it's like, man, what'd you do?
I mean, and
The
at this
same
point,
thing.
we've seen couples 6 years later
Yeah.
that still doing the same thing that they were doing when we talked to them 6 years ago. Well, we were very, only a couple of years into our journey, and they came like, hey, we just want to learn what you're doing. And now we're so far down the path and they come back like, oh yeah, we're still interested, whatever. Well, that window was gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think that your point of being youthful and energetic, your energy is important.
Mhm.
Stick to itiveness, zeal. Do you have a passion for what you actually want to learn? Or, are you focusing on just the money or whatever? I think that's important, because if you just want to get to a check, this ain't gonna work out for you. There's so many other steps that come before that.
Yeah. I'd also like to add, never underestimate the power of paid mentorship. It seems taboo, right? Like, oh, why do I have to pay for, or why should you have to pay for? But again, I've been going on a year investing in real estate coaching because
Mhm.
I'm a real estate agent. And so if somebody's already figured it out and it takes me $1,000 a month to get their systems and their processes and their information because they've already learned the lessons, they've been in the business, and they've collaborated with people to create this, then and I can make $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month by giving one, it's a no-brainer, right? So think about mentoring that you pay for as an investment. You should and will yield more money when you spend this money to get this information, right?
And I'll say this, and just speaking to your business, in that same less than a year that you've been receiving coaching, your business has doubled. Your business actually doubled in the first 3 months.
Yep.
So that's one of the exciting parts about it is it works, right? The strategies work. When you meet folks and they're doing something and have reached a level of success in it, it's not because happenstance. They put the work in. You're bridging off of their work, right? They're teaching you the secrets to how they got to where they are. That don't come cheap. It takes money to make money.
And I think I told this story before, but one of the coaching programs that I was a part of, the guy said he spends $25,000 a month in coaching. 25,000 per month in coaching. So, and very excited about it. I mean, he was very excited to impart that that's how much he spends. And so most people be like, oh my God, that's so much money. But you have to ask yourself, if somebody is spending $25,000 a month, they have to be making, just imagine how much they're making if it's very easy to write a check for $25,000 for coaching. So it pays for itself.
1,000%. And $25,000 a month is how much annually? That's like $300,000 a year. Is that $300,000?
25,000 a month. Yeah, I'm counting with my fingers because my math is real math. My math ain't math.
So 25,000 times 4 is 100,000. 100,000
times 3 quarters.
4 times 3 is 12.
Yeah. Okay. 400.
So 400,000.
Okay. Yeah.
So $400,000 a year.
$400,000 a year. So clearly, this man is clearing way more than $400,000 a year if it's nothing.
I mean, here's the question. Let's say let's say you put in everything you had. Let's say you made $400,000 a year and you invested 1 year, and in that year you made $1 million, right? Would you feel like you lost or gained? And let me tell you the trick in this math, right? So you spent $400,000 a year, but you spent every money you had. But in that year you got the coaching, you made $1 million. So now you've made $600,000 more than you would have made without spending the money on the coaching. Well, the skills that you learned in that year, you can make $1 million that next year, and that next year, and that next year. So now the return becomes infinite because literally you've 50% of your money back in the first year. And then that next year, you're more than in the black. And over and over again, you're making money off the things that you learned in that 1 year. It cost you a whole lot up front, but you got a whole lot on the back end.
Yeah. Speaking of 25,000, and listen, if anybody is going to fact check me after telling this story, fact check your mama. All right. I'm gonna give some figures, and this is a ballpark because this is how I remember it. But Rick Ross is doing a mastermind.
Okay.
I think it's like 3 days long.
Okay.
Fact check me, okay? Fact check your mom. So I think it's like 3 days long, but it costs $25,000 to attend. And most people look at that and say, $25,000, what in the hell is he selling? But what he's giving is whatever is happening over 3-day weekend, access to all of his contacts in his Rolodex, like direct access.
Oh, damn.
An event
That's
with
valuable.
the people who are in his business circle. You know what I mean? So you get the opportunity to network, and you get complete and 1 year of coaching or calls or something with Rick Ross himself for $25,000. So
he's smart. Boy, that pandemic made Rick Ross a genius.
All I'm saying is, I do that? Maybe.
We need to start doing 3-day weekend.
It's not, I mean, I don't know how much value I personally could extract from his relationships, but if I were in the music industry or the franchise anything like that, I think that if you had it, it would be worth it.
I mean, if we wanted to go into that side of the business, I think that there's folks that we paid $25,000 to spend 3 days with.
Definitely.
In our network, in our real estate world. I don't know if at this point, going down a different lane like a Rick Ross lane would make sense. But I think for somebody who's just starting off and you don't know which lane you're in, those are the type of opportunities you should look for. Because whatever you're shooting to become, like we're in our field, right?
Yeah.
If you were just getting out of college or decided not to go to college and you sitting
and you got $25,000 invested with me.
I would go balls to the wall because
I don't think
it's going to give you a head start.
You
wouldn't do it?
With Rick Ross?
Yeah.
If I didn't know what I wanted to do and I had $25,000, I'm like, I'm going to hang out with Rick Ross for $25,000.
If you don't know what you want to do, I would not do it. If you want to go into music industry, i.e. franchising or whatever, then I would do it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that?
No. Okay. We are not on the same page today.
Why? Why are we not on the same page? Just because you would do Rick Ross if I was in college?
You would if you had
if I wanted to go into Wingstops and music, sure. I don't want to do that. But if I could spend $25,000 to sit with the CEO of Newmark Homes or some shit, then sure. Somebody who's, putting billions on the board in the home building industry.
I misunderstood you. I thought you were saying if you have no idea what you want to do and you got an excess $25,000, go register for the Rick Ross 3-day conference.
No, I think that anything that you invest in, you need to have an interest in. If you just shooting, don't spend your money because you need to really sit and figure out what you want to do. Yeah. That's my personal opinion.
Okay. No,
so,
I'm down with that.
Wrap it up because we are misaligned. I don't know why. Go ahead.
Are we misaligned?
In topics, sure.
Okay. So basically
Struggle bus city. Struggle.
So basically
where's the Sandman?
What we're trying to say is for mine.
Wrap it up, girl.
I'm trying.
All right, y'all.
No,
You know
no,
when
no,
I gotta
no.
jump in.
You're
It's
not
a
about to.
sad day. Go
No,
ahead. Then go ahead.
don't short the wrap up.
All right.
So to wrap it up, a secret to a million. One of the secrets to a million in business is mentorship.
Yep.
A few of the points that we wanted to drive home was what? Nope. You got nothing?
I do. You want to seek out mentors who are in the fields that you want. Don't be afraid to invest in mentorship because it's totally worth your while.
Absolutely.
You want to have high energy and stick to itiveness and zeal, and be able to implement the things that you learn. Right. Don't let it fall on deaf ears. If you get these people's time or you get them to give you a little bit of their knowledge, appreciate it with action.
And add value. Come with value first.
Come with value first.
Come with value. Lead with value. Don't DM me without value, please.
Don't DM me at all. I don't want to be DM.
Kevin, can I say that?
You can DM marriage and real estate.
DM us.
Me
lead with value.
Okay.
If somebody has something valuable for you, and I do not mean a wholesale deal, lead with that.
DM my wife. Don't DM me.
This has been the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast. We cannot land this plane at all. I'm Aisha.
Follow that. Bye. We out.